Casual Magic has been sponsored by Quiver, maker of the Quiver and Bolt deck cases and other fine deck holding accessories. Use the code CASUAL on their website for 10% off your order. This episode is also brought to you by Monopool, a fast-growing marketplace for Magic the Gathering that makes buying and selling cards easy. Their optimizer helps you get the best value when buying cards, and their team is focused on making it a great experience for buyers and sellers alike. You can also support Casual Magic directly by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/ShivamB. And now, on with the show. Welcome to Casual Magic, the show where we talk about the fun side of Magic together. My name is Shivam, Bhatt, and Casual Magic is brought to you by Monopool and Quiver and my patrons at patreon.com/ShivamB. Today, this is an interesting one because one of the things about doing an interview podcast is that sometimes you need interviews and sometimes you put calls out and sometimes folks just cold email you out of nowhere. And like a few months ago, I had Chili Bin from a show called Casual Compliance down in Australia. And today, his partner from that show, Gramps, also cold emailed me and was like, "Hey, you want to talk to me?" And I'm like, you know what? I have enjoyed every conversation I've had with an Australian on here. And so I'm so fascinated by playing Magic in places where it's not the home base.
Yes. It's not there in Seattle. It's or over in California or anywhere. It's another entire country with an entire different market.
And it's far, far away. Like alpha and beta, so when Magic came out originally, it came out in Seattle, it came out of Gen Con, and then they kind of drove down the west coast of America and stopped at game stores to try to do the dog and pony show to sell it. So we got alpha and beta before anybody else did. And so our relationship with Magic on this side of the world is very different than oh yeah, I have to go to the Philippines to buy a starter deck or whatever the hell, right?
And with us here, it's such a different card availability, and that's the really interesting thing about the markets and what is available in standard and what's available in all of the different formats that are around is based on the plentifulness of the cards, right? So if we are talking the biggest market in the world, everything is going to be way more available for standard, for modern. Whereas if you come here, there's less Sheoldreds because there's less people. It's just the way that is, right? It is. We've got 27 million people here in this country. I'm pretty sure you have more just in California.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like there's more people than that in the San Francisco area.
Right? And so when you think about that kind of spread, the metas change. Not super much, especially now that the pro tours and the streams have become way more prevalent and way more accessible, and Magic has just blown up. It continues to get bigger and bigger, even when I think that it is starting to hit its peak. And now you are seeing a lot more of those meta decks here, but they take a lot less of the field.
First off, I think I do need you to move a little closer on the mic.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, that's the thing, because I remember I was talking to some Brazilian folks, and they're CEDH players or whatever, and their cards are not just Brazilian Portuguese, but English and Spanish and Chinese and whatever they can get, right?
Yes,
we can figure out what the Magic card says because we all know what the picture looks like or whatever. I mean, we used to. Now it's every card got 700 pictures, but you could figure it out. But you use whatever's there. If what you've got is Taiwanese cards, that's what you're using. And
I've got a box of Japanese Ikoria cards behind me because that's where I could get the Ikoria packs from more reliably. I've got triomes in other languages. I've got Japanese hollowed fountains and godless shrines.
I mean, the thing is, as long as it's utility cards, then whatever. We can figure out what a triome is. But it's when it's one of these I don't know, Strixhaven cards that's got an essay on the front and back, and you're
what does Mavinger do again? It's it's a zero cost. I know it's a zero cost, but I wonder what's for free.
Seriously.
and I guess that's the benefit of Scryfall, right? Is we can all look at Scryfall and say, oh, this is exactly what this card does. And don't get me wrong, Wizards have also done that to us by printing those Phyrexian cards. Like they were very
Oh
happy
my
for us
god.
to
You want to
have.
know the biggest pet peeve I ever have is accessibility. And the Phyrexian cards, first off, I have a problem that's well known, which is that I have a very bad memory. It's associated with my ADHD and some other whatever, like genetic issues and stuff. And that means like I have a really bad short-term memory for things. And like when I look at a card and I blink away and I look back, I'm gonna, if it's not in English, I'm going to like have to pause for a second and be like, what the hell does that do? And it was just like, I don't know what a Phyrexian planeswalker does. Come on, man. It's
what
cute, but leave
what
that
does
for the
that
secret
Nahiri
layer.
say?
Leave it for the secret layer. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
And well, I mean, it also goes to like, and this is more just Commander in general when there's 4 players. It also goes to what's on my side of the board, right? It's
Mm.
I know what's here. Maybe if I remember all my triggers, I don't remember that. I need you to tell me what that is.
Whenever people are like, "Oh yeah, man, I love to play super interactive Commander," and I'm like, "How?" I can't remember what's on my side of the table. How am I going to remember what's on the stack and like 30 cards deep, and then the screw that.
I play a commander with an eminence trigger, and the eminence trigger is I gain 2 life in my upkeep. That's it, and I forget to gain that 2 life every time.
Aloro?
Yeah, I'm that person.
Dude, Alora was bad enough, and then when they're like, "Hey, what if we made a whole bunch of these?" I was like, "Why would you do that? Like, everybody hates that card to begin with. Why would you say like, you know what? We need 4 more."
We need way more eminence in this game. And then Allura is the
Oh.
only one now that has an eminence trigger that isn't eminence because they never printed it with the word eminence on it.
Right, because it's different when it's in play too, isn't it?
Yeah, because when it's in
Yeah,
play, you can pay 1 generic to draw a card, and everyone else loses a life when you gain life.
Yeah. I think all the other eminence triggers have that same ability in play and in the zone. Aloro doesn't just drain you for 2, or doesn't just give you 2 life
Yeah,
when it's in play, right?
yeah, I believe so.
Whatever, I don't care. I hate that card. Well, I mean, I don't, 'cause we don't see Aloro anymore, but it is a pain in the tuchus for a very long time.
I was so hopeful with the Lorwyn story that we'd get an official Oloro in canon card, because he's a giant and the way he's positioned. Because there's no canon in the Magic story.
Yeah,
And
nobody knows where Aloro showed up from, huh?
well, we saying the Vorthos and only the specific Vorthos who care about Oloro. We all think that he's from Lorwyn, even though he's Esper and seems to be a Laren. Like we're all like, no, he's a Lorwyn giant.
Yeah,
Like
the Oloro Discord is riled up about this.
yes,
Truly, all 3 of you are up in arms.
Oh, that's really generous. I was going to say me and my Discord by myself, the echo chamber.
Hey, Gramps, Alora is totally from Alara, isn't he? No, he's from Lorwyn. Okay, Gramps.
I have the
It's
best
just little
arguments with
puppets talking
myself.
to each other. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, like, because that's the thing, especially when you've got like standard rotating. Well, standard, I guess, is now longer, so it's easier.
Much
But
longer.
like, I'm always curious, like when you're a tournament player, and like for us, like GPs and events and stuff are all the time, and even then, MagicCons now are like all in America and nowhere near you, and the one that's not in America is also far, because Amsterdam is not exactly closer than Atlanta. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, it's actually further, I think.
yeah, it might as well be like another 19 hours on the airplane or whatever the hell.
Yep.
But like, and you guys don't even do you have like small events like the equivalent of an SCG or whatever?
So because like we have a spotlight series coming to Australia. It's
Mhm.
going to Brisbane. But what people don't understand contextually is Spotlight Series going to Brisbane for someone in Melbourne is like for you on the northeast for you on the west coast, it's like going all the way to the east coast for a series. So it is nowhere near us, and it's either you're taking a 16-hour drive up just the coast, and it's only 16 hours because it's 130 kilometers an hour and no traffic lights, or you're getting a 6-hour flight and just paying a bunch of money to go to the Spotlight series. The local competitive scene, there's a ton of Highlander that gets played. There's a ton of Modern that gets played, and we have this really cool local competitive scene that feeds into the Pro Tours. We had an Australian top 8, a recent event over in America. I wish I
Yeah.
remember their name, but I do not, unfortunately. But the competitive scene here is really strong and full of, but because again, there's such little of us, it's really
Mm.
recognizable names.
Yeah. But I was just sorry, I was, like, distracted because I was looking at a map of Australia because I didn't realize that, I had forgotten that Melbourne is all the way at the bottom of the country.
Yeah, there's the only thing lower than us is Tasmania.
Yeah, and then, like, Brisbane is, like, halfway is so I guess it would be like driving from Miami to, like, I don't know, Washington, DC, or New York City or something.
The New
Uh,
York City, I think, would be, yeah,
yeah, Jesus Christ, 18 and a half hour drive?
yeah, man,
What in
and
the
it's
what are you
gorgeous
doing?
though, because like you have two options as well. So let's get hi. This is Casual Magic. We're going to talk about the geography of Australia.
Oh, dude,
um,
I am all about it, man.
if
Like,
you can take the East Coast and see some
also,
lovely
it's Anthony
beaches.
Lee is, the founder of Team Handshake and one of the Australian players who's insanely good.
There you go. Yeah. If you take the East Coast, you can watch the beaches. You can drive through Sydney, although I don't know why you'd want to do that. But you can also go up the guts. Like you go if you can
Yeah, you have,
drive.
like, 2 highways or something that go.
Yeah, yeah, and if you drive just dead north and go straight up the guts of the country, you can see all the bush instead. It's you get two options. You can either see like golden plains or the blue ocean.
Yeah, that's so just like driving through California. It's brown or blue, that's your choice.
Yes, yeah. I drove that PCH. I drove all the way from Seattle down to San Diego. I
Oh,
know
yeah, so,
that.
like, the entire stretch in California is just, like, burnt cinders and water, and beautiful water, but it's like mm, but, like, dude, wha I didn't realize this stuff is it just
We're a big country with not a
yeah,
lot of
but
people. And
1729
what is it? I
kilometers.
think
How
it's
far is
like
that in miles? What is this? 1776 kilometers in miles. Uh,
you have to Google that one.
yeah, that's what I'm
That's
doing right now. I'm like, I don't know the
we never really took on that whole imperial thing.
1,100 miles. That's a l that's huge.
Is okay because like we know our own numbers, right? We know what like I know 17,000 k is huge or 1,700 k is massive. But when you start getting to different contexts of space, right? It becomes a question of what is big for you in your belief system. Is 1,100 miles huge, or is it like, oh, that's I drive that every month kind of thing. So it's
It's
you have to.
funny because like, I like, for instance, when I had a desk job, so roughly speaking, yeah, I was right. It's like going from Miami to Washington, DC is about 1,059 miles,
Oh, there you
or
go. Wow.
and so, like, it is roughly the same distance, about maybe 50 miles or so more, I know, less than the trip from, Brisbane to, Melbourne, and, that's still so long, and that's also a 16-hour drive.
And would you make that trip? So, would you make that trip just for a spotlight series where you
See,
could
that's the thing.
play a game?
Hell no, I wouldn't, because I'm in California where everything is far away from us. Like, the closest thing in California, someone was like, "Oh man, there's an event in Los Angeles," and I'm like, "That's an 8-hour drive away, but I'm not doing that." But if you go to the middle of this country, from like, there's people who are like, "Oh yeah, I live in Minnesota, so I'm just gonna drive to Atlanta for the MagicCon," and that's like 100 million hours.
No,
I'm good.
I think the difference is right though. For a convention that makes sense, for a full convention, right? MagicCon, uh, PAX, all of those kinds of events, you travel all over the country for. But when it comes to things like, you know,
Like a
well,
local, basically.
like but when it comes to local events or like smaller events, the 16-hour drive or $1,000 return flight is a little bit different.
Okay, so here's the hilarious thing. I don't know why I pulled up Minneapolis as an example. Minneapolis to Atlanta is literally the same distance as Melbourne to Brisbane, like almost to the
Hey,
T.
that's
And I
amazing.
knew people who drove for MagicCon from Minneapolis or even higher in Canada to come
Oh
down. I'm like, that's
wow.
insane, guys. Like, it cannot be cheaper than an airplane ticket, like to do 16 hours. But there's 6 of us in a car. I'm like, did you do it in one shot? Yeah. Oh god damn.
Yeah, that's brutal. That is
I'm too old for
brutal.
this. I
My
am too
back
old for
hurts
this.
thinking about it.
Right?
Like,
Like what? No. But yeah, like I used to hear like people would routinely do like 8 to 10 hour drives to go to like a GP event or something like that. And I guess it just depends on like what is how badly like a MagicCon or a PAX, like you said, those are real things with it, entertainment, and they're big and they're multi days. Like a weekender where you're just going for a tournament in a hall and there's like 3 dealers and whatever. No, I'm not driving
yes.
16. I'm not driving like 2 extra days for that. Right.
And that's basically that's the event scene in Melbourne and in Australia is you have to make the choice of am I going to fly to this other area for a smaller event or do I wait for it and hope that it all comes to PAX again?
That's so crazy.
Because like we had
Where is
our
PAX normally? PAX would it be in Sydney, right?
no PAX is in Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
They got that right.
Well, I
Look,
feel bad for the folks that live in Perth, right?
I mean, because like Perth's event scene fully died. Really, it's unfortunate. It's so expensive to get there, and
Yeah, because
so
it's
isolated from
literally on the
everything
other side of the
else.
planet.
And it's the only one. It's the only one on that side of Australia. Everything else is on the east coast.
Yeah, that is like the only city on that entire side of the Australia is like a desert, basically. And then
Yeah,
there's Perth.
yeah. It's
And it's
it's
like
it's.
a 5,000-mile drive from Melbourne.
So I never know the
54
distance.
hours.
We know the
5,000
name.
kilometers, 5,000 kilometers, and it's a
We
54-hour drive.
And so for all of those watching out there that aren't from Australia, we always say when you're driving to Perth that you're going to take the Nullarbor. Um, and everyone just knows what that means. If you hear someone say Nullarbor, you're like, "Are you driving to Perth? Like, what do you mean you're driving to Perth?" And it's it's like a trek of like
Yeah, like that feels like
insurmountable
a
journey.
pilgrimage, man. That's like
It literally, literally, and I have made that mistake twice
driving to Perth,
for sporting events.
but
So
that's
like,
54 hours.
yep, it's such a nice. One of the most beautiful drives you'll ever do.
Oh, I believe. But like, dude, that better be the World Cup or something.
Yeah, no, Aussie football,
Oh, for
uh,
God's sakes.
Aussie football, and a test against Sri
Okay.
Lanka.
Okay, see, that's the thing. I would go for test cricket. I am a big cricket fan. But also, no. I'm not, I would just fly.
You're telling me you're not gonna drive 54 hours to go to Test cricket?
You know what, man? No.
Well, here's the thing. Other than the Major League
If it
Cricket
was
over
India
there,
versus Pakistan, maybe I would,
well,
but I
because
really wouldn't.
you've got MLC over there now with the IPL franchises,
Yeah,
which was super cool to see. Like I watched that religiously. I surely
we
you'd
tried
fly to
to we
Australia.
we tried to we tried to create a new stadium for Major League Cricket in San Jose, and it got voted down because I think the cricket organization went out of business and had drama. Uh,
Yeah, your cricket organization unfolded recently, unfortunately. See, it's wild. I know all about America's cricket news.
yeah, because there's like 4 people in the world who care about America's cricket news.
Yes, and two of them are here in this call. We got half the population.
Okay, so now, now that we've gone around the world, but that really does set into like it sets into perspective though that if you want to play tournament magic, you've got to like be committed.
Yes,
Like you have to be
and it's
dedicated to wanting to drive to the other side of the country. Like there's only real talk. There's only like 4 major cities in Australia, right? Like Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth, and then like I guess Adelaide.
well. No. This weekend is a convention in Canberra. It's CanCon. So, and Canberra is the capital city of Australia. Uh, Most of us in everywhere else know it as the place where the government is. um,
Mm.
but like they have a pretty bumpin' magic scene apparently. Like they, one of my closest mates works for a game shop here in Melbourne. They've packed up. They're on their way to Canberra to CanCon.
I mean,
So like
God
it's
bless,
enough to
dude. Like,
bring people there. And but with that being said, there are only 5 major cities in Australia. So it's only adding Canberra to that list. You
yeah,
have to
like I
be
guess 4
dedicated.
and the capital. Fine,
Yeah.
fair.
But you have to be dedicated to be a Magic player in Australia.
Right.
If you want to be at that more competitive level. With that being said, the local scene of casual Magic has hit this really cozy movement,
Hmm.
which is beautiful. There's a massive investment that's started happening in Pauper on a community level. Pauper is absolutely kicking off at the moment. It's so cool.
Pauper. Oh,
It's
I was like,
it's wonderful.
Pawpaw?
Oh, Pauper. Harper? It sounds
Sorry,
like a
I was just like, I think I know what that means.
I told him he can't swear. It's like
But yeah, like,
jalapeno popper. Yeah,
but I mean that makes sense because like common cards are easy to get, and they're
common cards
cheap.
are so
Even
available.
yes, and they're so available, and it's, like that's why part of why when people are like, "Man, why did Commander take off so much?" I think it's a large part of it is that if you're not in like the major cities of America or like Europe, it's hard to get Magic cards. Whereas if it's there's a format where it's like, "Hey, here's every random card you've owned, and you don't need to really invest in them, and you can just play kind of whatever you find around." That's going to get really popular,
And I think
and we just
singleton as an element as well is really important. That
oh yeah, you only need
I don't,
one. I
I don't
mean,
need to buy 4 of this one really expensive card. I need 1 of it, and I don't need to worry about bending the bank to make it fit in my deck. And it just becomes this flourishment of creativity, right?
mm,
It's here's what I have on me, or in some cases, here's what I'm building. I'm printing some cards to test before I try and buy the singles, and then playing that out in on at the dinner table with your 3 closest mates.
right.
That's and in Australia in the background having whatever sport is on. That is Magic. That is close. That is what Commander is at its heart in Australia. Is
Mm,
chuck whatever sport is on, League of Legends, esports, footy, play your Commander, chuck
mhm.
some barbecue. Done.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions related to this idea, which is first off, when did you find Magic? And second, how did Commander show up in Australia?
So I started playing Magic in 2008.
Mm,
The guys I played D&D with in high school. So in 2007, I was in year 7, so which really helped me. We graduate in year 12 in Australia. Um, in 2008, my D&D crew, one of the guys brought a mono green like beast kind of I don't know if it was called standard at the time, but a 4 of in rotation deck. And
in 2008, it
a
was standard.
yeah, cool. And then he also brought an Azorius deck. It was like Azorius Spirits, I think it was. And he was like, "Hey, I'll teach you how to play this game." We sat down at the library at our high school, and I was immediately addicted because for me it was D&D realized. It was like, whoa, I don't.
Mm,
It comes with art. What do you mean it comes with art? I don't have to make it up in my head because I don't have that visual spatial memory.
hmm,
And then so I played in 2008 all the way to 2011. And then year 12 happened. I got really serious with school, as everyone does in Australian schools, because year 12 is the only year that matters in high school.
mhm.
None of the rest do. Doesn't
Over
count for
here,
any.
year 11 is because that's the one where you take all the entrance exam tests.
Yeah, that's year 12 for us. It's all of your major exams and tests they get you in a university. That's done in year
Mm,
12. So the rest you can bludge. I dropped off, and then PAX Australia came in 2013. And that is
mm,
when I got into Commander. And that is when I got into Magic again after that year long break. Unfortunately, I took a year-long break with some of the coolest sets ever, which was really gutting. I think that was around the time of Shadows over Innistrad, and things like that. I might be wrong, and it might be when my second break was. I might have been 2014.
2013.
Yeah.
2013. Let's see. Shadows over Innistrad was after that because I was right in the year of right before college. So that was 2015.
Okay, yeah, that would be my second break.
2013 was. Let's see. 2000. God, you know how long ago that was, dude? 2013 was God. I'm not gonna let go. 2013 was Ravnica.
Okay.
Return to
Return to
Ravnica, Swiding
Ravnica.
12 October. 2013 was Gatecrash, Dragon's Maze, and then Theros.
So that's why I didn't have any of the Shocklands. Is because
Oh
I
yeah,
missed
so you
that.
sat out the 1 year.
Sat out the 1 year that the best lands since the
The
Triomes were
beginning of
printed.
lands.
Yes.
Triumphs. Dude, the Triumphs did not need basic land types. That's just my rant for the day.
I think they didn't need cycling. I think the cycling was the ridiculous part on the Triomes, not the basic land types.
I think.
But then,
yeah, you're right.
well, but
Sure.
then, Commander was around. I don't know. For me, Commander started at about 2015, 2016 when my friend bought me the Aminatu deck, the subjective reality deck with Miracle, which
yes
is my favorite mechanic of all time in Magic the Gathering. And we definitely played it wrong. We definitely played it wrong. And it was and it was also just the two of us. Like, we just played Commander with each other with these precons, which means we were also playing 1v1 Commander wrong because you have to take the Soul Rings out.
What?
Which is
No,
yeah. So yeah, 1v1 Commander, Soul Ring is banned apparently. I don't remember
if
where
only if you're playing French Dual Commander, like,
which is the only way that exists, I guess.
Dude, I played a lot of
French
one-on-one
Dual
Commander. Yeah, that's what it's called.
No way.
Dual Commander is French. It's a French spin-off of normal Commander that, like, they went and they made it more competitive, and the ban list is a lot more vibes based, where there was, like, sometimes there have been cards because it used to be run by one guy, and then he would be like, man, I got pissed off at this stupid red deck that beat me, so these two cards are banned. But it was like, it was
That's
a whole thing. Like, it spun off of this dude was on the rules committee for a while for normal Commander, and then he went off and he just forked his own version of Commander, which is fine, and it's rad. And it's gotten more regulated and less vibes based since then. It's got a committee, it's got a whole thing. It's really cool. But, like, if you're playing just one-on-one Commander, it's a casual format. Nobody cares. Like,
and that's the crux of it, right? Is we make mistakes, and that's the best part about Commander is you can make as many mistakes as you like. It's a casual format. Like, you're not winning anything. There's no Ante anymore. We got rid of that. It's just cool. Oh, whoops, made a mistake.
I
Let's
lost
shuffle
so
up, play
many
again.
cards to Ante.
And on our show, which is Casual Compliance, Ante's banned in Commander very fairly. And anti card types, cards that say anti on them, are banned.
Yes.
The conceit of our show is we talk about the culture and philosophy of Commander, and we use the Commander ban list as our vehicle to make that communication. Which means at some point, we have to talk about anti cards because we need to explore why they're banned. Which,
okay, well, here's what I got to say. Contract from Below exists. Contract from Below is a 1 black mana card that says draw 8 cards and draw 7 cards and then draw an 8th one and put that 8th one into ante. It is the strongest card in the history of Magic the Gathering ever printed.
Could you imagine in a Grixis deck, 1,000 Year Storming that card?
Bro, I played against that card. It was in 1993 when we were in 94, we were sitting there playing it. You know, like, we played with Ante, we played with Jeweled Bird and with Contract from Below and Amulet of whatever the hell and all this other crap. And dude, it feels so bad when you play against somebody and he takes your your Mahmoudi Jin or your dual land or whatever, and then won't play you again. And I'm like, hey, let me have a chance to win it back. No, I think we're good. And I'm like,
enjoy the free cards, man.
Yeah. But, like, I think that there's a case to be made for Ante.
Ooh.
You wanna hear this? Because I've
You
been
know
actually thinking about this for a while.
you know why I wanna hear this? I am the antagonist of our show that we do,
Mm.
and I'm always the one arguing for unbans, and at this point, Reddit is starting to run out of resources for me, so hit me because I'm gonna bring this up in the episode. This is locking away in my memory.
So here's the thing. Here is where I think Ante would be not only good but awesome. And that is if you are playing in a cube. If you're playing in cube and you have anti cards, all the cards are going back to the owner of the cube. You have no control or like possession of them. So you can play them and do dumb broken things because you're already playing with Black Lotus and the Mox Jet and with whatever the hell, like all these other broken ass cards. You can play broken cards with Ante. You can make the decks get wibbly and wobbly, shake them around, and at the end of the day, they're all going back to Cube Guy, right?
That's
And it's awesome.
I'm building a cube at the moment. I'm building a cube of slivers, and I
See, that would be so good for Ante
yeah no, you've
because I just
absolutely.
pass him back and forth.
I'm going to do that. It's not
Like
just a
people,
case of like
yeah, like it's so
that
good.
is
People don't
genius.
understand. And the other thing
What?
is, it's like you don't think about it because everybody's like so ready to just hate on Ante. I'm like, you know where else Ante is good? In if you're playing in other hermetically sealed places like Jumpstart, or if you're playing in something like a hermetic what they call it in Commander Pod, as in
Yeah,
like when you're playing with all four precons of the same release, you can play with Ante. Go ahead, whatever.
yeah,
I
exactly.
think
Like,
there's places where it's super fun, and it just as long as the cards are going back to who they belong to, then that's the thing that people really hated.
and the thing I wonder is how many experiences in Magic the Gathering are people missing, or don't even know they exist because of they only play Commander, conspiracies banned,
Mhm.
anti is banned, like
I spent 3 years trying to find a way to make conspiracies work in Commander because I think conspiracies are some of the most fun things ever, and the way you can do it is, again, in a format where you're doing where you're playing like Boxing League Commander, where you open a box of, booster packs and build your commander deck. You can allot people like, here's 5 randomly assorted conspiracies. You pick 3 of them that can shape your deck building or not, whatever you want. But like, there's just I think conspiracy cards are super fun. I think that like anti cards have the potential to be fun. I think there's so many weirdo cards. We figured out how to make plane chase work for God's sakes.
yeah, right. We have Arch Enemy, we have Plane Chase. Why can't we have conspiracy? And
I
like
love conspiracy. It's so good.
I saw a format of Magic early on Tolarian, which was the Treasure Cruise, I think it was called, or the Treasure Chest. And I
Yeah,
was thinking, well, why not have conspiracy cards in that? Like the ones that like Hymn of the Wild, right? And where your lands can tap for anything. But then I guess that limitation there is you would have to build your deck around it and hope it comes up because the conspiracy only cares if you meet the requirements.
right. So there are certain conspiracies you could do. Like I think the hidden agenda ones you could get away with,
Definitely.
or like but the thing is like I'm just looking at like the conspiracy and stuff, and there are like there were other cards in this format that were also just like we got the voting cards to work, we could get conspiracies to work. I think we could get contraptions to work in Commander too. Contraptions are also super,
Yeah,
super fun.
absolutely. And like, it can mean attractions.
I've played
The
against
Infinity,
attraction
they
decks.
work.
Yeah, but they're not as fun.
They're not. Well, okay, and
I
let's
mean, I
get
guess they're
into the
fine.
psychology of this for a second, which is the question I have for you is: you've played against attractions, and they're
Mm.
not fun.
I mean, they're fine. They're fine. They're
But
not
do you
fun. They're
think
fine.
that maybe if there was more opportunity to play against conspiracies and you saw more of the broken side of it, that you would have the same mindset? Because I imagine anytime I play against an attraction deck, it's something broken because they found a way to make it really good.
Yeah,
So is that
that's part of the
is
problem is that
is
like
that a
people would.
biased perception?
I think it's that if the folks who are inclined to play things like attractions or contraption or whatever, there's two kinds of people. One who's like, this is the funnest gimmick in the world. I'm going to do this. And one is, I have found a way to exploit the hell out of the game. And
Yes.
those are the people who are like Frank Karsten playing Chandelar, going like, "Well, I'm going to cast Contract from Below 12 times and then Time Twister a whole bunch." Where
I will
versus
take
like,
all the turns I can.
yeah, versus like, I'm just doing this because I think it would be really goofy. And the other fun part about playing Ante in Cube, every Cube card is the dumbest card you've ever seen in the world.
Yep.
So like, if I take your 23rd best card, it's still going to be an idiotically insane broken magic card.
But also because like, yeah, Sliver Cube with all of the Wooburg Slivers. I've pulled apart my Sliver Commander deck. That in I don't know if it's Australian Magic scene. There's a Instagram reel of me that people have seen me play a very nice Sliver deck fully unsleeved. I hurt a lot of people's souls with that. And I've pulled apart that deck for the Sliver Cube. And there's like the first Sliver, the Future Sight foil one.
Yes.
Excuse me. The Future Sight foil Sliver, that's in the cube. Could you imagine stealing that from someone? Like that's the card that you take from them.
That would be so funny.
That's the best kind of stuff, right? Is like how
yeah, but I think that would be so
absurd
cool.
can we get? Absolutely.
I think God, if you're playing a monotype cube like Allies or Slivers, where every card is keying off every other card, playing with Ante would be hilarious.
Well, but then also because one of the nuances, getting into the Sliver Cube for a second here, is
yes, please. I love hearing about cubes.
There's 70, I think it's 70 or it's 60. I did the numbers recently with Chili Bin, who co-hosts Casual Compliance with me. There's like 71 global sliver mechanics where it affects all slivers. It's got that keyword of all in it, the operative word of all. There's 41 individual sliver mechanics where it says slivers you control. And that's a really interesting balance when you're thinking about a cube with one creature type. Because the ones that affect slivers you control should be more abundant to try and balance out the board more, but they show up in an almost 2-to-1 ratio. But now if you can steal cards with Ante, that changes that balance even more because you're going to want to try and steal a sliver that says slivers you control. And then with gem hides and mana wefts in there, everyone has access to Wooburg. Almost. I mean, there's only 8 in what would be a 16-person draft, but like, because it's a 720 card cube that I'm building. So like, there's only half the players could have access to one of those gem hides if you're not holding all 4 for your Wooburg deck.
Yeah, I mean, something like gem hide, I would put multiple copies of in a deck in the cube, but
because I'm only using slivers and there's some colors have access to changelings, there everything but the sliver spells is singleton. So the sliver cells, there's 3 ofs, because you get to do this really fun thing where you get to play with the rarity of slivers. If there's 4 of them in there, they show up at common basically, and if there's only one of this type of sliver, it shows up at mythic. In that kind of setting. So you get to kind of play with how frequently do I want people to be able to access this specific sliver? Well, if there's only 1 out of 720 cards versus 4, it's not that big of a ratio, but in the context of it, it is.
Man,
and then I have 10 metallic slivers in there because I really just want the bum, like, oh, well, I guess I have this one. Like,
that's funny. I mean, metallic sliver. I mean, look, something's got to be the glue, right? Like,
well, yeah, you need the trash draft. You need this is what I'm passing over to you, right? you need the forest in the pack.
Yeah, like as long as you're not playing like Demonic Attorney, which is like the opponent concedes a game, because that one's not fun. But like Contract from Below or Dark Pact or whatever, those are cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about how silly, and even just normal Ante rules at the beginning of the game. You put your top card aside, and the winner gets both of them. Like,
yep.
It's like it's a cube. It's all going back to you.
I own these cards. You don't own them.
Yeah. So like, it's not going to make a difference.
I guess the other thing is with the Sliver Cube, right? Is you could put Conspiracy in as well.
You can. You absolutely can, because it's a
You're
cube.
helping me build my cube right now.
Bro, you know what? The place I've seen Conspiracy is the most, because when I talked to Sean Main, They were like, "Yeah, dude, the whole point is to cool cards for cubing." Like, the cards are like, both, there's the, 2 on cards which let you add an extra pack to the deck. Stalking Tiger and Legion or whatever the hell it is, Undead something. And then, like the conspiracy cards, you're drafting them so you can just put them in, take all the random draft matters cards out of conspiracy, add some extra anti cards, and then suddenly your Sliver Cube is not just like, oh, we're just playing Sliver versus Sliver. Now there's weird spice involved.
It's an anti-sliver conspiracy. Sorry, I was workshopping that. I got it.
There's the name right there. There's the
Anti-sliver
name right there.
conspiracy. Because
How
you know
good
what?
is
It's a
that?
conspiracy. All these people that are anti-sliver.
It's so
No,
good. That's
that's
so perfect.
brilliant. Because like I have the 3-color land where you draft it, you pick a single color, and then person on your left, person on your right, they pick the other colors for it. Like that's an instant include into a draft.
Yes.
Like, wow.
Pilano, the city of whatever the hell.
Yeah, Pilano, absolutely. I for our show, we did a conspiracy draft because we wanted to gather the people that we play Commander with in this multiplayer format where, once you've done your draft, there's all 4 of you are playing. And we had 12 of us. And we did a game where we did our pods of 4 and then we rotated a little bit. And then we did a game where all 12 of us played. In one big table, that's what Magic is made for. Silly things like that.
Look, there's only 25 conspiracy cards, right? Yeah. Just put them in there. It's fun.
That's it. And we have a bunch of them because we did a conspiracy 1 draft. We haven't done take the crown yet, but I've got enough of them that
they cost like a dime, bro. You can if you need to, you can purchase these very simply.
Well, Mystery Booster 2 as well had some conspiracies in it, which was really interesting. I pulled 3 Hymn of the Wilds in my Mystery Booster 2.
Yeah, they would just throw in the rando cards to just be like, here, have fun. Good luck.
Wow.
But yeah, like you put in these draft cards, you put in the there's these constructs that were in Conspiracy 1 that were like, draft this card face up, and then you can put it back into the pack if you want to take 2 cards instead.
Yes, like, and we put that in there. I know they're not slivers, but they're draft effectors.
Yeah, dude. If you're like, here's the thing. I think what the point I'm trying to make is that if you are playing a monoculture draft, a monoculture like cube format, adding in flavor like this makes it really interesting. In not just it helps break up the monotony of like, yeah, we've all got Might Sliver and now they're all like gigantic 40/40s. Okay, I get it. But like, it just gives you some extra juice. Yeah, and like weird juice.
And that's the energy, right? And that's
right
outside of competitive Magic, on the casual side of Magic with your cubes, which can be competitive, don't get me wrong, but with your cubes, with your Commander, with your Pauper, it's casual Magic is weird Magic. That's just what it is.
That's been my thesis since the beginning.
It's so important to let that flourish with constraints. You don't want it to go too far because then it stops becoming casual Magic and it starts becoming homogenized Magic. And whilst homogeneity isn't bad per se, when you have to play this deck in this way, we lose the weirdness.
Yes.
And just to steal a phrase from the only city I've been to the most, we got to keep Magic weird.
Yes,
because otherwise, it just becomes another grindy format, and like, it becomes.
That's why I resist CDH and like competitive additions to Casual Blade so much, because it's just like, let it be silly. Like, I wanted to unban all the sliver cards and then selectively ban some. Not sliver, the silver border cards.
Yeah, the silver borders, yeah.
I got a lot of pushback from that because they're like, I don't want this in my game. I'm like, then go play any of the other 600 formats. If we're going to be the casual format, we should plant the flag and say, like, this is Crazy Town Casual. That's what it is.
Like the Unfinity cards that were legal in Eternal formats, is that what they were? What it was?
Yes.
The ones without the acorns.
Yes.
Some of those cards have led to the most fun games of all time. I have a Pero Dice Lost, which is the roll 2d6, return cards from your graveyard to your hand equal to the mana value in my Borborygmos the Enraged deck, because lands have a 0 mana cost. So it doesn't matter what I roll the dice, they just go back to my hand. So I could pitch 30 lands, play a pair of dice lost, and get all 30 lands back and kill the next person.
Let's go.
We have a mate of ours, Chili and I, that plays Magar of the Infinite Strings, I think it is, which is a Rakdos Commander 3/3. When you cast a spell, you can pay 3 to have it come into the battlefield face down. So the other players don't know what the information is. And then whenever you deal combat damage with that 3/3 creature that's come down into the battlefield face down, the spell triggers. And so Breach the Multiverse gets played regularly and rapidly because of this one Unfinity commander. And that's the weird stuff that Silver Border, that's what we're missing in Commander, is having those silver bordered cards.
Man. Like, there's so much serious Magic. Let's play something dumb. You know, like,
and let's have fun with it. And I guess that's the best thing about, and this is really what we try to tell people is, Shivam, I feel like you, myself, Chili, and someone else that we really know or really like at a table, we could sit there and say, we want to play silver bordered cards. I've got some silver bordered cards in my deck. Are we okay with that? And we could come to a consensus of, yeah, they're banned, but let's get silly with it. It's the ban list and the brackets or all of that is a guideline. Yes, it's a conversation piece. And it's really interesting because when we get comments of like, we get comments from people that is rule 0, or we get comments that is, oh, I play this in my pod anyway. It's like, yeah, awesome. You're doing exactly what we say you should do, which is, well,
great.
We don't know you're doing it, but we hope that you're talking to your friends about it first. And we hope that you're saying to them, hey, I want to play with this card because it's one of my favorite cards. It's on the ban list. Is it okay? You know what's in my deck. And awesome. Please have those conversations with your friends, because you shouldn't be able to not use the card that you want to play if other people are okay with it as well at your pod and at your table. But that doesn't mean you can go to the next table if you're at an LGS and use that same deck and expect to be able to use that same deck. You can't go and say, well, they let me play it. That's where it becomes a problem. And that's why we have those guidelines is, hey, this is what we think. Banning these 36 cards, we think that gives you the best experience of Magic at Commander on a casual level. These cards make it too competitive or make it too homogenous or make it inaccessible. Starfall, where you have to throw the card. Ancestral Recall, where you have to throw your money away. Like things like that. Accessibility ones are so important.
Yeah, I mean, look, our whole goal was with Rule 0 is like, we just want to have it so that, and like the ban list. The ban list is just, hey, 2 strangers are meeting up. Here is a baseline. Let's talk. Rule 0 is for game 2. Okay, you played your deck, I played my deck. Let's talk about what we actually want out of this so that our next few games are fun, right?
And the experience we had in that game as well. Don't forget, we're not going to target each other based on that experience, but, oh, you played like this and I couldn't keep track.
Yeah, it's like, okay, let me just bust out my other deck that'll match what your vibe is better. But like you see, the people were taking it the wrong way for so long, where it's like, oh, I need to carry a card with all of my win cons and how long I expect to win the game and the neutral alignment of my deck and how like what the star sign is and how much like my mood has changed because we're playing on the 3rd slot instead of the 2nd slot. Like, no, dog, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's Commander. Just play.
Can I make a controversial statement? You do not have to, I'm saying this to you, the person watching this right now, you do not have to build your decks with a win con in mind. You don't. Guess what? Commander damage is a win con. Damage on the board is a win con. Just build your deck in a way that you're going to enjoy playing Magic. Because guess what? You will have the most fun. And whether you win or lose, like, you play to win, but if you're building with win cons in mind, you're restricting yourself from seeing the silly side of the game. So free yourself from the win con and embrace the weird.
I mean, look, dude, I've been saying that the whole damn time, right? 300 some odd episodes of this. And I'm just like, look, it's okay. Like, just do the cool thing, do the fun thing, play the cards that, like, I put Mahamoti Jin in a deck. That card has not won a game since 1995, right? Like, I don't care. It's a 5/6 flyer. It's my favorite card of all time. Deal.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, in my I've got a deck where it's all like about making rabbit tokens, but not attacking with the rabbit tokens. It's about it's a one Baldur's Gate lady who, like, she's green white, and when you attack, you make a rabbit token for each token that your opponents that you have in play already.
Mm.
And like but all my rabbits sit there because I have cards that give them all exalted. And her whole job is to run in there Voltron style, holding a bunch of swords and armor and things while her rabbits cheer for her. And like,
that's a much nicer way to think about it. I feel like that she's just turned her rabbits into a sword and armor, and she's just wearing them as a body
they're
shield.
just like, yay, go. And she's feeling super buff and going like ham on people. And in that deck, I have the silver border card Earl of Squirrel because it hits things and it makes squirrels, right? Like, it's got squirrel link. And I'm like, this card has no business being a silver border card. It is a perfectly reasonable, normal card. It hits things, it makes squirrels. And
Most
also,
fair Magic card of all time.
and like literally in the theme of my deck, when you see my deck and you're like, oh, you're just making like infinite trillion useless bunnies. I'm like, yes, I can also make infinite trillion squirrels. It's fine. It's just, it's all thematic. It's all just in the flavor of fun.
Well, and one of those is, and that's an interesting conversation, right? Is hey, this deck is going to make a million billion squirrels or infinite things. I'm not going to use them to attack you at all, at any point. This will not win the game. This specific interaction will not win the game. What I'm going to do is use it to buff up my commander. When I attack with her, she's going to become a million because that's way sillier. And so people understand that the squirrels coming down is a threat, but not in the way they think. It's like I play the I kit bashed 3 commander decks together, 3 precons together. It's a Minotaur, the subjective reality deck, a Minotaur, the Duskmorn deck, and then the 40k Esper deck all in one because there's miracle everywhere. But I use the commander as the planeswalker as the commander because I use the big one. Bring back the big cards, by the way, please. And I will say to people, I'm never going to use the ult. Like, kill her because she's the commander, but don't kill her in fear of the ultimate coming because we don't have the cognitive load to track left or right.
Oh God,
and to move all of our permanents.
Such a, you know, the few times I've done that, we just stand up and we move our bodies to the other person's table, to the other person's chair instead of like trying to do this weird. Somebody early on in lockdown when we were all starting to play over spell table, someone tried to bring an Amanatu deck, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna just tell you, I'm gonna stop you right now. That is not appropriate for this format.
Bro, that card only has 2 modes in this game. Like, if you want to play any other mode, sorry, man, you're gonna have to drive to me to give me your permanents.
Oh,
hey, you're in Washington and I'm in Miami. We know that's a 16-hour drive, baby.
Oh my God, dude. This has been great, man. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on today.
This has been amazing. Like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's been fun learning about the geography of Australia and America.
Like, real talk, I did not expect like half our conversation to be about geography, but also I don't care. I think it's fun for me to learn, and it's fun for because to just circle back and wrap that up for a second, the lengths people have to go to play Magic is insane. Like, people used to fly every weekend to GP to GP to GP, and like there were like Japanese grinders who would come to America and then go to Kuala Lumpur. I'm like, how many plane points do you have, bro? But like, if you're just a weekend player who wants to go to the random con, and the random con is 16 hours away, and it's the only one in your country, that's tough. That sucks.
Magic in Australia is love.
Yeah, you have to really want to be there.
The fan base is dedicated, and the fan base is growing, and the people that are playing are just the best because we're all in it together, right? We want
Mm.
Magic to be successful. We want Magic to be here, and we want to be seen by the company that produces it, so we can have our country on surveys, and we can, you know, we can come to the table with, hey, we have a good scene and we have some really good players, and everyone here just genuinely loves the game.
I think it would be so sick to have a MagicCon in Australia. Like, that would be so
We
cool.
we want to. I do a bit of event management here, and I've been trying, man. We had the guy that does Mark, who does the broadcasting over of like all the Magic Cons and all the Pro Tours over there. We had him
Mm.
as an interview on our show because he also does the broadcasting and panels at PAX. So like,
Mm.
there's people that know. There's people that know down here. There's an appetite for it. So we can hope that after Amsterdam, they're like, you know what, MagicCon Melbourne.
That would be so sick. But you know, they could even put it in the middle of winter for you guys, and it would be the middle of summer for us, and it would be great. Or we would freeze. I don't know. I don't know what the weather's like in Australia.
Winter down here is a balmy 13 to 14 degrees Celsius, which is like 40, maybe 50 degrees. Actually, that might even be a
That's
bit low.
cold.
No,
That's
no,
cold.
it's not that cold. It's not bad.
No,
It's
actually,
more,
13 or 14. Actually, no, 13 or 14 is not that bad at all, actually.
no, it's really not. Like right now, tomorrow is going to be 102 degrees Fahrenheit in Melbourne.
Yeah, 13's 55. That's what it is like on a normal winter here
There you go. Like, see, it's not that
in
bad.
California, where it's
It-
warm all the time.
It rains a bit and it gets a bit wet, but that's about it. Like Melbourne's winter is also a summer sometimes. You get 26-degree days, which is in your 70s, 80s. Like, it's not bad at all.
Yeah. It's only on the other side of the ocean. It's fine.
Hey, your money's worth way more than ours. You come here
Dude,
living lavishly.
Look, man, I really, really want to go. I have family that lives in Sydney. I want to go see, and I want to just go and hang out. It would be funny though if it's like, yeah, to get there from Perth is the same distance as to fly there from San Francisco, and I'm like, well, yeah.
What you got to do, you have to come down in summertime so you can watch the Test cricket at the MCG.
Yes. Oh my god, dude! I have watched so many rounds of Australia versus India, and just then I'll come and I'll wear my bluey shirt. It'll be great. All right, dude. If folks wanted to find you or your shows, where can we go?
So if you go to Casual Compliance on every single thing, we're on Blue Sky, we're on TikTok. It's casual_compliance on Instagram because someone else had Casual Compliance. But especially
because
YouTube.
it feels like something for like taxes or government spending.
And that was
right?
kind of our goal, is like, we're being compliant to the most casual format of Magic the Gathering. Like, we're paying our taxes, we're paying the one, and we're only playing legal cards. But yeah, Casual Compliance everywhere. We have a website that you can go to, casualcompliance.fun, that aggregates all of our stuff. I'm on those social medias there. So that's where you find me. I don't have anything else. And yeah, if you're interested in the culture of Commander and the cards that are on the ban list, if you've just learnt there's a ban list, come watch us chat about why I think they can be unbanned and why Chili Bin knows they should remain banned.
I feel like listening to your show would upset me, having had to do that for 5 years. So I'm just gonna say, like, other people can, but you guys are both genuinely lovely people. I had a really good time talking about you. So thank you so much for making the time to come on and talk to me.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's been really wonderful talking to you.
Yeah. And as always, my friends, you can find me on Blue Sky at Shivam Bhatt on Blue Sky. You can find me at YouTube, or rather, you can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are sold every Tuesday, and also on YouTube. Thanks to my editor, Dan. You can also hear me on Shiva, Wheeler, Love Magic, or Chronicles of Dragonauts podcast. And remember, my friends, it's not magic without the gathering, and we'll see you